So let's go ahead and talk about context and state-dependent recall. I'll give you the definition first, and then we'll kind of go over some examples to make sure that we clarify this. So first of all, state-dependent recall. So when you're trying to remember information, it's easier to recall it if you are in that same exact biological state that you were in when you actually learned it. So for instance, if I drink coffee while I study, it's easier for me to recall when I'm drinking coffee as well. So we're talking about a biological state. In context dependent, it's the same thing, but now what we're talking about is location. So recall is easier when you're in the same location that you were in when you learned it. So if I study at the beach, recall should be easier at the beach. When we're looking at context dependent recall, this is kind of a little bit of classical conditioning. If you think about it, when you're sitting in the classroom, you sit in a specific place, and so that kind of gets you ready to learn about psychology. So it really is that condition, that unconscious conditioning that we have. All right, so just kind of as examples, state-dependent recall. Remember, we're always talking about your biology, your physiological state, and there are multiple things that can affect that. So for instance, if you take medication when you're studying, studies say that you should be taking that same medication at the time that you're trying to recall the information. Okay, if you are an insomniac, but you actually learn the information while you are sleep deprived, supposedly sleep deprivation will actually cause you to recall it again a little bit easier. Whatever you eat or drink also changes your biology. And so if you're used to studying with, I don't know, soda, coffee, water, or snacks, you should actually be drinking or eating those same snacks when you're trying to recall it. Okay, again, state dependent. It's totally about your biological state. I once had a student who decided not to take his allergy medicine, which he always was on daily, and then he took the test and he missed a few more questions than he normally would have. And when I asked him what the difference was, he said, well, I didn't want to feel groggy during the test, so I didn't take my daily allergy medicine. So again, biology, when you learn it, you need to be in the same biological state when you try to recall it. With context dependent, we're talking about the location. So wherever it is that you learn the information, whether it's in the library, whether it's in your room, in the middle of the bed, that's how I study. I just lay everything out all over and begin to study there. Do you study in your living room? Where is it that you study? So it's about location. All right, so that's a summary of your state and your context dependent recall.